Good morning. Welcome back to the 80 and 8. Today we're doing Carrières, or the Great Carrières of the 18th, the westernmost district in Montmartre. Getting out at Place de Clichy here, metro stop on line 2 that is like the southwestern corner, very pointy corner of this arrondissement. I'm here with my dad, which is exciting. We're gonna go basically this little point of Place de Clichy, where that's the 17th, this is the 18th, and this is the 9th. All circles around this little corner down here. And it translates to Great Carrières. So I don't know what this comes from, but it says it comes from the quarries that used to be over here. So maybe it was just a great career to be in the quarry, or maybe it was a great career to be a dancer. Sounds more fun, honestly, than being in a quarry, but I'm sure there's an analogy somewhere in there. We're on the 18th arrondissement of Paris. We are doing 80 and 8 round 2. This is Carrières. Let's see what we discover. We're starting a little bit later than usual, so we're probably going to start by angling towards lunch and then finishing with coffee. A little bit of an inversion of the usual. And yeah, as long as it doesn't rain on us, we should have a grand old time. For sure. Speaking of the 17th, you might recognize this part of the border, because on our left is Epinette. That's right, if you want to go see Sam and I wander around Epinette, it's a quarter that actually it doesn't touch this section, but once we get up to Saint-Ouen and we go to the right, that'll be where we border one quarter that we've already done. There are two things that I want to check out today that I've never even really done in my vlog. There's the Montmartre Cemetery, the huge cemetery that's down here, and is the anchor of this quarter. And then there is a church, a St. Genevieve church. So there's so many more of those than I ever realized before doing this. It's in the north of this quarter. We'll go up on the hill. The most famous parts of Montmartre are not included in this quarter, but there's still some good angles of those famous things, because even if your quarter doesn't have the most famous things, it might have a great view of the most famous things. We'll just see where we wander along the way. Have you ever been in this part of town, Dad?
I don't think so.
I don't think you have either. It's a fresh exploration for you.
It is.
Actually, we've never, that's the border street, but I'm kind of curious what's up here. And then we'll talk after these guys stop dragging these boxes up the hill. Totally random aside, but if you want some career advice, if you're a sound person and you want to make nice audio for videos, maybe don't choose Paris as the place to do it. This is kind of cool. Really cool mural. It's a really fun mural. I've never seen this before. See, now I want to go down there. We got to get our boundary street, but then we'll go. I think this is the fun of it. We don't really have a plan of where we're going. Also, it's going to be a problem because we need lunch. And I think I might show you a place in my guide that's delicious. Okay, this is less interesting now that I see down. Let's just look at this building, but that's the Montmartre Cemetery, so we can end up there shortly. Okay. Maybe we should end up there after lunch so we don't end up there, if you know what I mean. But this is cool. Villa des Arts and La Villa des Livres. Books and arts. Just looks schmancy. And then very, very modern all of a sudden. All right, we're turning right on Rue Marcadet. We're turning right on, I don't know if I should pronounce these things in French or not half the time, honestly. But we're turning right on Rue Marcadet to head towards our lunch destination and also hopefully pass by that Church of St. Genevieve, if you want to follow along. It's been a downhill stroll along the border of the 17th. We're now fleeing the 17th and entering deeper into the 18th. And if we were to continue going north along that boundary, we would hit the Périphérique, the ring road around Paris. You've seen that in other videos. I'm not super interested in going and seeing traffic today, so we'll see what we do after lunch. But my goal, I think, is going to be, we're going to wander up the hill a little bit, show you what's in there. No, actually, we'll start below. We'll go to the cemetery, and then we'll wander up the hill, because we're going to end with coffee, and I got a spot for you that I think is also in my guide, just making sure that you're set up with caffeine to end any stroll when you're out and about. Dad's really into the tiny little private communities that we're stumbling across. All right, here's the Genevieve church we were talking about. It's a very different looking church. Oh, that's nice. Oh, perfect. There's an invader waiting for us outside. That's great. The Carrières Saint-Geneviève. I don't know where's, it's not listed. It doesn't have a little monument sticker on it, so I have to look up the date when this was built. I'm guessing 20th century, but I don't know, so we'll look that up and see if I guessed right. It's a very nice, simple church. Very quiet inside. I thought the altar and I guess the choir behind it was very, very interesting, like a very modern take. Definitely chill. Curious, I thought the tile work behind the altar might have been an homage to Paris on the river, because Saint Genevieve, as you may well know, is the patron saint of Paris for saving the city from the Attila the Hun, which tells you just how old this dang city really is. So she's a popular one around town. But yeah, I gotta flash this invader and then let's go get lunch. I'm hungry. All right, at this point, we're just cutting straight across the quarter to get to our tasty, tasty lunch. We're pretty far north at this point, pretty close to the northern border. We're headed to the Rousseau, which is named after the street Rousseau, which is named after the river Rousseau. There used to be a tiny river in Paris called the Rousseau. I don't know if that's where the burger shop gets its name directly or if they just name themselves after the street, which is a very common practice here in town, just to name yourself after your address. But kind of adds a little sense, a little taste, a little tingle of history to it, at least for me. Do you like a little taste and a little tingle of history, Dad?
I like the mixture.
Good mix.
Spices it up.
Tingly texture history that we need to eat. We're going crazy. Gonna say the street that we're cutting across on Rue Ordonnais is the first street I lived on in Paris, like 8 years ago. For a couple of months, I stayed on a friend's uncle's floor for a couple of months. Don't recommend that, but hey, at least I had a floor to sleep on and a roof over my head, so can't really complain. And then that means, of course, that Rue de Rousseau is one of our boundary streets out of the complicated side of things. We'll see what others we include, but when I was drawing the map earlier to know exactly where I was gonna be, and I was like, it's a list. We've noticed a couple other things that look like they could be interesting around here. You always gotta have a backup plan, because you just never know when things are gonna be closed, especially in August. And it's not technically August yet. There's like 2 more days until we hit August. However, it doesn't matter. We're close enough. So just a reminder, maybe just for the mentality when wandering around in Paris, be flexible, easy going, chill, because you really never know if you're gonna get what you think you're gonna get when you go out. Even if it says it's open on Google Maps, you won't know till you get there. Not the best for conversation. So how'd you like it?
It was good. It was good. I especially like the ambiance.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of picked the literal worst moment to sit down and eat when they started cutting the road apart, literally, like with a giant saw. And now it's back to being perfectly quiet on the street. So good for us. Good job. Anyways, back to the hunt. We're walking north along Rousseau. On the hill, it gets ziggy and zaggy and kind of complicated, so we'll just pretend that the names don't matter for this one, although I'm sure we'll see some streets along the way, and see if we can't find ourselves something to sit down and relax with on the way. Ooh, stairs. That's what I was just going to ask you.
Stairs.
You want to do the stairs? All right, we're doing the stairs. Our boundary goes up this way, and that's the way my dad has chosen to go. This is a fun bar right here, La Cave Café. Definitely had a couple of late nights there. It's a fun area down on the back side of Montmartre. Nice thing is that the hill to the north, there are a lot of really nice things up here. There's a really nice, actually, I think there's a really nice bakery down here. Let's zig and zag again because I want to see it because we're not coming back down here. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna give it a quick look. Kate introduced me to this place down here once, which is Inbounds. I'll introduce you to it, and then we'll get my dad the stairs he so deeply craves. But what I was gonna say was there's a lot of really nice stuff. There's some bakeries, some tap houses, bars, wine shops, a lot of stuff on the north side of the hill that most tourists never get to. Most people never find it. So I just highly recommend it. If you've ever got a little bit of extra time or you've been in town before, wandering around in neighborhoods like this, there are a number of different places around town where you just go a little bit farther than the average person does on their trip here, and you'll discover all kinds of stuff that most people never see. It's really rewarding, in my opinion. Oh no. Okay, good. I was worried they're out of business just because they're closed for the day. Yeah, oh, they're on vacation until the 25th of August. But, so no pastries from here today, but they're really tasty. P1, atelier meaning workshop, so this is atelier or P1, but they're closed until the 25th of August. This is what we're also getting into in the beginning of August. Stuff's just gonna be closing down everywhere we go. Anyways, well, let's go up here and then we'll zig back down to your stairs and go up them.
Yay!
Yay! Why does he want to do stairs? We went for a run this morning. I don't understand. Another closed bakery that's in my guide. Have fun in August. But there's some really nice bakeries up here near La Marque, which is within bounds today. So we get to zig and zag around one of my favorite metro stations and see my favorite metro sign in the whole city, and then get close enough to at least see Sacré-Cœur as we go over the top. All right, you ready to do your stairs now?
Ready.
We're gonna have to go, how do we do this? We wanna go up to the top, obviously. It's gonna be tough to get if we're gonna do the cemetery, because there's another cemetery right here that's out of bounds. The Cemetery de Saint-Vincent, which I always used to think was the Cemetery of Montmartre. But the Cemetery of Montmartre is where we were gonna go. There's also coffee right here, which we can grab to go and continue. So I'm gonna let you make the decision. Do we grab coffee, walk up the hill, go to Montmartre, the cemetery, or do we go up the hill, see what's up there, and then come back down, get coffee, and go over to the cemetery? I think we're just going to end in the cemetery no matter what, so we don't walk all the way back up the hill twice.
Gotcha.
What do you want to do?
Let's do coffee after.
Okay, let's go up.
No.
It's a crazy looking bike. More stairs for you. Woo! You'll be happy to know that the bust of Dalida is inbounds. Maybe not, but you got to touch her boobs for good luck. So, okay, there's one more thing inbounds that I want to show him before we curve back around and find ourselves some coffee. And then I don't think we're coming back up the hill because Abbess and all of that are out of bounds. And yeah, we'll bob and weave a little bit and then go see some dead people. Seems like the perfect place to wrap things up, really. Actually, this is a park that I've walked by before but never been inside. There are kids here, so we might want to be careful of what we film, but. Nice little park. Do you know who that is?
It was nearly headless Nick.
It is. That's very headless Nick. That's Saint Denis. The saint who had his head, I'm guessing it's Saint Denis, saint who had his head cut off and then he carried it for a little while, and where he ended up dropping was where they built the church that they named after him. The good thing about the wind, though, we were just talking about the wind, is that it can power your windmill. Did you see it?
I was wondering where that was.
Found it.
Yeah.
It's not the red one, but it's still pretty cool. We took the longer route for your viewing pleasure, but we'll still curve back for the coffee because I know some of you want to know where that is. Another tasty bakery. We're going down there to the cemetery, but first we gotta go back uphill a little bit and get ourselves a cafe. Speaking of different places, that's where we're going for our cafe. Mignon. Cute cafe. Now to finish with some dead people. All right, down here, I'm pretty sure the entrance, oh no, it's closed, but we'll have to check it out. The entrance is down at the bottom of Rue Colincourt, and it does not look promising. Well, if you find yourself here, there's a bridge that goes over the top of the cemetery, and we'll go take a look through that to see the cemetery. But once you get to the hilly side of it, that's where the entrance is, and I don't think we're gonna be able to go in. Apparently, it's only open on All Saints days, so on like, church holidays, I guess maybe is how that would translate. I didn't know that. I thought this was open more frequently. I thought this was open. I didn't know that it wasn't. So we're learning together, but it's pretty cool. You have this section up above right here. And then if you cross the street, which we're gonna have to go over and do, you can see down into it. Look how far down it is.
Yeah.
I've never been in there, and apparently I'm not getting in anytime soon. Security can go in there though. Look at him go. Yeah, wait, how'd those people get in there? Okay, there's one more chance, maybe, because I've seen some stairs over here and I don't know if they lead into it or not, but we can try that. Okay, attempt number 2 from the bottom of the bridge. This is looking much more promising. Oh yeah, this gate is open. Sweet. How much you want to bet someone put up a real stink when they said they were going to build a road over this place? Oh, absolutely. This is I've never seen this before. I've never been in here before. Oh, wow. Wow, they like got it. They barely kept that one in place. I wonder how many of these got moved though. Like I bet you they moved them and brought them back, some of them. This is really nice. It's very cool. After walking, we were just talking about the noise of the street and where we had lunch. And walking through a nice, quiet cemetery. It's kind of relaxing, actually. Reminds me of New Orleans.
Because they have all their cemeteries above.
Above ground?
Yeah. In large part because the water table is so low.
Yeah.
Or so high, I should say.
Well, thanks, Dad, for coming out.
Yes, thanks for including me.
Happy to have him here for Grand Carrière in the 80 and 8. The 18th, round 2. Thanks to John Brewer, today's patron producer, my most recent patron producer. Gonna go through and re-randomize you all, see who comes up next. But you never know. In the interim, the newest one could be my patron producer again, so feel free to hop on board. And thank you for sending us out. Thanks for watching. To all of you for watching, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Please like the old video. Helps it with the algorithm, so they say. And we'll see you again bright and early one of these mornings sometime soon from Paris, most likely, but possibly somewhere else. And we'll continue exploring the rest of the city in the 80 and 8. Thanks for watching. See you soon.